free. Battle in the storm with courage and grace. Shayna's got the wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch she'll set you free with the heart.
Truth bomb here. Did you ever feel like lacking control totally increases your fear factor? What if you had more control? Would you have less fear, less anxiety, less palpitations? I want to help you reclaim that power, regain control to lessen your fears over things. Today, we're going to talk all about breast cancer awareness and prevention for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, who empowers mostly ladies to get and feel better when the doctors and meds didn't. I've been a licensed healthcare pro, registered nurse, and board certified nurse practitioner well over 30 years. Now, let's dive right into breast cancer awareness and prevention. I know this is very scary for a lot of women out there, and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Elizabeth says, love the idea of ditching fear. Guys, wherever you are tuning in from, please drop a comment down below. We'll stream it live across the screen and we'll know where you're tuning in from. Time's up. So I want to talk to you about this because breast cancer awareness is so important. Ignorance is bliss, right? But no, not really. So breast cancer will affect one. Well, okay, let's step back. Stats are always being updated, right? And could be fact checked. They used to say breast cancer was 1 in every 8 women, 1 in every 7. I know Long Island, New York, where I'm from, it seems like 1 in 3 and 1 in 2. And the newer stats are showing for out of all the females, 1 in every 3 will develop a cancer. 1 in 3. And I believe that stat is a little old now, and we're seeing more and more and more cancers on the rise. It's probably closer to 1 in every 2. So say it's 1 in every 3, right? Between me, between you, your significant other and your child or mother, between you three, statistically, one of the three of you will develop cancer. I believe it's closer to 1 in 2 now. That means there's a 50% chance of rain or sun. So I do want to dive in. Before I go any further, if you guys haven't already claimed your seat for our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life super workshop, please do so now before I lock the doors forever. We have well over 100, probably closer to 200 registered, and I have to close the doors soon. It is this Saturday. It doesn't matter what state or what country you're in. You can access it online as long as you are registered. It is this coming Saturday, the 18th, 12 noon to 3 p.m. EST, live on a video Zoom-like setting. It's going to be fun and interactive. You can scan that QR code or go to that website, worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, and claim your free seat or level up to VIP. VIPs will also get a second session for live group Q&A, digital printable workbook, and a third session with me for a private one-on-one consultation for $47. So I don't know if I'll ever offer this free again, and I don't know if I'll ever offer that much in the VIP for that little again. So if not now, you probably won't. So just scan that QR or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your free or VIP seat. Listen, guys, it's not going to change my life if you do this or not, but I think it can really help transform yours. Okay, enough about that. Let's move right along. So, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is this month, October. It's time to check your pups. I want to help you, enlighten you about I would say things that aren't true, things that are true, what you can do. Now, this about a year ago, I was at a seminar by a doctor because don't get me wrong, I love my doctors, but they go to medical school to practice medicine. And sometimes they're not up on the latest things or they don't know how to think outside the box. So I went to a talk by a doctor last year about breast cancer awareness and prevention, and she didn't mention self breast exams. Okay, ladies, so I'm going to get into which test to go for, when and how, and it is up to you. I don't give doctors orders like the doctor says you do this. I give you all of the information so that you can make a truly informed, educated decision, because everybody is individual. You see, if every single family member of yours, your parents, your grandparents, your children, all had breast cancer, I might have you go for more screening more often than a 90-year-old that never had cancer and has no history in her family. So you have to make an educated decision on your unique situation. So that's all I want to say about that. So breast cancer awareness, testing is not prevention. If your doctor is just talking about testing, that is not preventing anything. In order for the breast cancer to show on the test, the cancer has to be already there. So I'm not opposed to testing, and we definitely need it to detect things earlier and detect cancers before they metastasize or spread. But keep in mind, it is not preventing any disease. It's not preventing cancer. It's detecting cancer. So I want to help you decide, learn things you can do to also prevent. So first few things that I want to talk about. Ladies, get your breasts checked by your licensed healthcare provider as well as yourself. Now, I can't go into every single rule and regulation here today because it's unique for each individual person. But I'd say, listen, if you're of childbearing age, you should all have a professional breast exam by a licensed healthcare pro. Your GYN is a good one to do that. Also, of that age and above, you should be getting screening mammographies. It's going to vary on when you should repeat it based on your history, your family history, and things like that. Most women are taught in the USA to get a breast mammo every single year. Now, let me go into these stats. So, we were saying breast cancer was 1 in 8, then it was 1 in 7, then it was cancer in your lifetime is 1 in 3. I believe it's every 1 in 2. So testing is good, but prevention is even better. Testing will detect a cancer, will not prevent a cancer. It may be caught early to help it, to help treat it before it metastasizes or spread. So ladies out there, if you're of childbearing age, make sure you get a licensed healthcare pro to do a professional exam and decide what tests you need and when. But mammography is a good screening tool. Here in the US, we usually do them about every year on the females of childbearing age and over, sometimes more often if you have a history, one every 6 months. It is radiation, but a low dose radiation. In Europe, a lot of the ladies get them every 3 years. So you're going to have to discuss the pros and cons of your unique situation with your licensed healthcare pro. So the mammo is giving you radiation, and each year you're getting another mammo, another mammo. So by the time from 30 to, I don't know, 70, you had 40 years of extra radiation, but it is low dose. There are some machines that I think are even lower dose. When you get your mammo, you have to decide, are you getting it every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, every 6 months? Then also, please, ladies, do your self breast exam every single month. Because if you're supposed to have a mammo once a year and you forget about it and it's 2 years, at least if you did that self breast exam every month, you may be the first to detect your own cancer. Now, when you start doing them, you're not going to know what you're feeling and is this normal or not. But if you keep doing them every single month, you're like, oh my God, I don't think I felt this last month. So please, ladies, do your self breast exams every single month. I'm not going to get into the how to. You can do it in the shower, but it's better if you're lying down with your hand over you, 3 fingertips. You don't want to press too light because you won't feel deep lumps, and you don't want to press too hard. And you want to go, you could start with circles from the inside all the way out to the underarm, feel the lymph nodes above and below the collarbone. You want to make sure there's no nipple discharge that's not supposed to be there. And also, ladies, if you have dense breasts, please, every single time you're getting a mammo, go for a sonogram of both breasts. The sono is not giving you the radiation, but can often detect cancerous lesions in dense breasts that the mammo might miss. Because you see, the mammo is squishing your boobie, and you might have a lump right against the chest wall that might not show on the mammo. So if you have dense breasts or your mammo report says dense breasts, please insist on a sono of both breasts, even a sono at the 6 month mark. Some patients are opting not to do the mammo as often and to alternate it with the sono to get less radiation. Again, you have to discuss that with your healthcare pro. There are thermographies. Thermography is not approved. It has false positives and false negatives. It can miss a mass and it can detect something that's really not cancer. So it's not to be replacing the mammo, but can be used as an extra tool. And then there's also enhanced cancer detection now, AI. We are now starting to use AI. It's not more radiation, it's computer programs that re-look over your test and might often detect things that the human missed. And then if the AI system detects a suspicious lesion on your mammos, then they will have another radiologist reread it. So they are called EBCD, which is enhanced cancer detection. And that could be used in addition, not instead of. And sometimes that can detect a cancer 2 years earlier than the doctor or the radiologist reading your report. It's important to try to use the same facility every single time so they can compare it to the old. So that's enough about that. Now I want to more get into prevention because, again, detection is good, but it's not preventing anything. Self breast exams are very important. Um, Prevention. I was at a talk this year by a doctor that was supposed to be talking about breast cancer prevention. She did this whole long presentation, PowerPoints, yada, yada, yada. And she left out a huge preventative measure you can do. And I'm going to get back to that in 1 minute. But I also want to tell you again about the testing because this situation just happened today with a client. Ladies, you have to advocate for yourself on and question your doctors. Why this test? Why contrast? Why radiation? It is very important for you to stand up because a lot of the doctors don't know and are ordering the wrong test. And I will tell you this situation that just happened today. Someone came to me, and a lot of people come to me to double check what their doctor said and get a second opinion. And she said, my doctor just sent me for an MRI with contrast. Now, MRIs are normally not radiation, but usually when they give you contrast, if it's an IV or injected or that you swallow, that often is radiation or called a nuclear test. Not always, but often is extra radiation, and is CAT scans are radiation, x-rays are radiation. So you have to do screening tests when appropriate, but don't overdo tests you don't need. People come in for an x-ray. Hey doc, I think I tore a ligament. Well, an x-ray is not going to show it. So it's important to go for tests you need, but not go for tests you don't need. No unnecessary x-rays. CAT scans are radiations, and contrast in CAT scans and MRIs are often giving you heavy metals or are called nuclear testing, which is more radiation. Even if you go for a nuclear stress test, right? Nuclear, that word nuclear, okay? They put the contrast in these double heavy metal boxes, and all over it says, do not ingest, do not swallow, keep it away from pregnant people, babies, and pets. And then they inject it in your vein. So guys, know the pros and cons. I'm not saying not to go for tests, but only go for tests you need. Now, I had somebody today said, you know what? I want to double check what the doctor ordered. Their doctor ordered an MRI, which MRIs are not radiation, but contrast. And for her specific situation, what I discovered was the doctor said they weren't sure what test to do, so they left it up to the radiologist. Now, mind you, the radiologist doesn't know the patient. They don't know all the signs, the symptoms, the prior test, the physical findings. So your doctor left it up to a radiologist that knows even less about you to decide which test you should get, right? The radiologist doesn't know your prior test results. And I'm like, this makes no sense. So we followed up, and the radiologist said, it's up to your doctor. And the doctor said, it's up to the radiologist. And the doctor had no rhyme or reason for why they ordered this test with contrast. And then I said, well, wait, let's compare it to your prior test. How was your prior test done? The prior test was done without contrast. All right, let's get this report. So we got the report. Now, the patient swears that she never got an injection of the contrast. But the report had a mistake and say they gave her the contrast. So now they wanted to order the same test the same way to compare it to the prior. So there was an error in the prior report that said she got contrast that she did not get. So please, guys, go listen to your gut, reach out for a second opinion. I can do a video consultation, get your prior test results, and tell you what I think. So in her situation, I am recommending she gets another MRI without contrast like she had last time to compare, because for that body part, that contrast would only illuminate the blood vessels more, and that's something we're really not concerned about. So that's all I want to say about that is question your doctors, get a second opinion, get a third opinion. All right, guys. Yes, listen to your gut. How many times did you say, oh, I should grab a coat or an umbrella in case it rains, and you didn't listen, and then you kicked yourself, right? Yes, Elizabeth. Woohoo. Listen to your gut. Question your doctors. They are often wrong. A lot of these reports now, we have electronic medical records. So they're just used to click, 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 click. So her last radiologist just clicked the box that said she got contrast when she didn't. It's a young girl. She would have remembered getting an IV with an injection given to her during this last test. And in reading the actual report, there was no mention of which contrast she was given, what quantity she was given, no results of the contrast. So I knew it was an error. So I saved her getting that contrast, which often contains heavy metals, right? They put gadolinium, iohexol. These things are not good. Some of them are heavy metals, some of them are radiation, and they're discovered on autopsies many, many, many years later. So if your doctor says, oh no, it's out of your system in a few days, it's not. And more importantly, if you keep getting these tests with this contrast, over the years, you will develop an allergy. And then when you really need a test like that, you might develop an allergy and not be able to get that contrast. Even nuclear stress tests, the doctor is giving you an IV of nuclear, something nuclear, okay? This is not good. So, there's other forms of stress stress test. You can get a stress echo where you run and then they do a sonogram of your heart. You can get a stress EKG where you run and they look at the EKGs. So some of these tests are needed and some not so. So I want to get more into prevention. Now, genetic testing, right? You can go for genetic testing. And you know what? I'm not a big proponent of that because it's often not covered. And if you get the genetic testing and you're a young girl and you don't even have babies yet, are you going to get them chopped off before you get the chance to breastfeed? I don't know. So, genetic testing, you have to weigh the pros and the cons. It does not prevent anything, but it can lead to stricter testing along the lines. I've seen people get genetic testing, get a double mastectomy, and still get breast cancer. Because if that breast surgeon does not take 100% of the breast tissue and he leaves just a little bit of breast tissue against the chest wall, you can still develop a breast cancer. So it's important to know that. Other things you can do: keep your weight skinny. Cancer loves fat cells and cancer loves feeding on sugar. So try to keep your weight down. Try to lay off the processed foods. A lot of them have dyes, heavy metals, carcinogens in them. Exercise helps. Lower your stress level when you can. Stay away from toxic, negative, poisonous people. There's so much I want to get into. Oh, hormone replacement can exacerbate and cause breast cancers to feed. So you have to use hormones with caution. Know that it can increase your risk of cancers, but sometimes with cancers they use certain hormones as well. So it depends on your situation. Another huge one of the very first patients I had to diagnose with breast cancer, this was many years ago, probably a couple decades ago. Well, probably a decade ago. Young girl, no family history of breast cancer, developed a breast cancer at a very young age without family history. And she developed the cancer at the exact spot she used to keep her cell phone. So, ladies, I want to help you talk about prevention. Testing is good, it's not preventing anything. So, eat better, keep down your weight, your processed sugars, your stress. But please, ladies, for the love of God, when you go to work and you go out at night, do not keep your breast phone, your breast phone. Do not keep your cell phone in your bra or in your top or on your pants. Okay, it is radiation. Things you can do. Do not keep the cell phone on you, especially if you're childbearing age. You don't want to keep it in your cell phone in your pocket where your ovaries are, if you're a man, where the sperm are. So, ladies, please carry a purse, put it in there. Other things you could do: airplane mode might help cut down the radiation a little bit. When you're not using it, turn it off. I turned my 5G back to 4G. I think that may help me. I also have a wired router in my house, a wired modem. So I am not using the Wi-Fi a lot of the time. I have a wire going to a modem. So instead of Wi-Fi, my laptop has a modem. It's quick, it's easy to do yourself. You can just go to, I don't know, Best Buy, Amazon, search wired modem router. So again, don't keep your cell phones on you. Keep it on airplane mode when you can. Turn the 5G to 4G. Keep it off a lot of the times. Use a wired modem when you can. Oh, airport scanners. Guys, when you go to the airport and they say, okay, put your arms over your head and you go in that body scanner, that is radiation. And these airport people are not trained. They think it's less radiation. It's not radiation. If you can see through my clothes, you're giving me radiation. Okay, so opt out of the body scan. You can do that. Right before you go to the body scanner, you say, listen, I don't want that radiation. If you want, you can pat me down. That's what I do each and every time. And they will pat you down. They will offer you, would you like to be pat down here or in a private room? I'm like, here is fine. But I'm a little bit of a Pia, a pain in the butt, because they use those gloves on the past 20 people. So I'll say, excuse me, do you mind changing your gloves? Because it's not only protecting you, it's protecting me too. I don't want their gloves that they touched the last person who had shingles or herpes or hepatitis with. So please, guys, opt out of the body scan, especially if you travel all the time. That radiation does add up. I hope these tips helped you. Opt for the pat down. Don't get unnecessary CAT scans, x-rays, mammos when you don't need them. When you need them, please go with your licensed healthcare pro and discuss the risks of each test, the alternatives, and the frequency for your unique individual case when you should be getting them. Keep in mind, like I said, I'm not opposed to the mammo, but the mammo is squishing your breast, damaging the tissue, and then radiating it as well. Yes, they say it's a low dose, but it's adding each and every year. If you started when you were 35 and you do this to your 75, that's like 40 years of extra squishing and damaging the tissue and radiating it. Some patients are opting to do the mammo every other year and the sonos every 6 months. But you have to weigh that out for your situation. If you do the testing less often, yes, you might miss the cancer, but then make sure you do the self breast exams every single month. There's so much more I want to say. Again, testing is important to catch early detection, to possibly save your life and prevent it from having metastasized, but is not preventing cancer. There's so much more. Oh my God, I forgot a huge one. Cancer is linked to free radicals, oxidative stress, cellular inflammation. There are things we can do to reduce oxidative stress. We can activate your genes in your body. See, we have these little highways that different genes work on. They're almost like blood vessels in our body. We have different genetic highways or different genetic pathways that's what I do also. I work on a genetic and cellular level. That we have these genetic highways in our body, kind of like our blood vessels or highways in the real world. And sometimes those highways are overclogged with toxins and things like that, and they're not working as good. And they're kind of like genetic switches in your body, like a light switch. You could turn it on or off. And when we're over bombarded by radiation and toxins, sometimes these genes are turned off like a light switch, right? And they're not functioning. And there's ways now we can turn on that genetic light switch back on. We can activate that genetic highway again. And when we do that, we can greatly rev up your own body's endogenous production of super potent antioxidants that fight the oxidative stress that's linked to the cancers. So there's ways we can activate genetic highways in your body, turn on genetic light switches so that your body creates the good defenses it used to before it got bombarded. And those good defenses are super potent antioxidants that fight oxidative stress, free radicals, cellular inflammation. And we can also turn on a genetic switch so that your own body detoxifies before the toxins become toxic. And when you detoxify and get rid of the toxins, you have more room to absorb the good nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. So we can work on a genetic cellular level to reduce this oxidative stress in nearly half. And that is linked to 9 of the top 10 leading causes of death in the US, and like cancer, diabetes, heart disease. So let's see. If oxidative stress is linked to over 100 diseases and 9 of the top 10 leading causes of death in this country, do you think we should reduce it? Right? What if you can reduce that oxidative stress and do so in a natural way by revving up your body's own good production of these super potent defenses? So that's what I help people do, is reduce early detection, reduce their risks, and better their odds of staying healthier and doing so longer. Um, I hope you found this helpful. If you'd like to continue this journey, I have a workshop. There you go. This Saturday. It's the last of its kind for this year. It is going. Oh, God. We have almost 200 people registered. It's a lot of time, energy, and effort for me. I encourage you guys, listen, I'm not making a dime off of this because I'm offering it for free. So, from the bottom of my heart, I want you to register, because what I said right now, I can't give you every single thing I've learned over 30 years. So, I'm squeezing a lot of the nuggets into this workshop. I can't stop and individually reply to each and every person and spend 3 hours teaching them everything they need to know. So this helps save me time and energy, but it gives you a lot more of my time. Because if you pick up the phone and be like, hey, what did you do? I'm not going to spend 3 hours with you unless you're an extremely high paying client of mine. So I want to give you, this will allow me to impact more lives in less time and give you a lot more of my time and do so for free. So this will be the very last free workshop of its kind online this year. If you don't do it now for free, you probably never will. So scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. If you've been to my other events, this is all new content. All new content, 3 hours of lots of stuff, none of the fluff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. It's on a Zoom setting. If, like I said, if you've been to my prior events, this is all new content. If you're registered, you can still level up to VIP. I want you to know if you registered and weren't able to register, the seats are, I reopened it again. We had so many people logging in simultaneously, they kind of crashed the system. So if you tried to register and couldn't, registration is back open. Please scan this QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Claim your free seat. After you register for free, you will have the option, if you'd like to level up to VIP. The VIP, so it's this Saturday, 12 noon to 3 p.m. EST, live on Zoom. Please register ASAP before I lock the doors forever at worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Again, if you tried to register and you couldn't, the doors are back open. Please do so. If you've been to my events before, it's all new content. If you want to level up to VIP, you can go to that same link or look at your email or the text message you may have received. Or if you want to level up to VIP, you can go to worldwellnessexpert.com/VIP. The VIPs will get replay access. So if you're like, hey, I can't make it, level up to VIP now. That's the only way you'll gain the replay access. The VIPs will get extra chances to win really cool prizes. They're going to get the replay access, the digital and printable Reclaim Your Life blueprint with the notes and the worksheets, a second session for a live group Q&A where you get answers to your questions in real time on the group setting, and you're going to get a third session for a private one-on-one consultation with me, all for only $47. Oh, here's the randomizer. So when you're a VIP, you're also going to get extra chances to win on the randomizer. What we do is we put everybody's name who's registered on the randomizer. You have to be in attendance to win. At the end, we're going to raffle off some cool prizes. We spin the randomizer a few times. If you're VIP, you're going to get extra slots on the randomizer to win. Really cool perks. There were gift certificates for $150, $200. I got some other really cool perks and merch that I can't tell you about here. So I hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's over 100, probably nearing 200 now registered. Top five. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. The last time I did a 3 hour workshop, my team monitored it and not one person dropped off in the entire 3 hours. So please block out your calendar for this Saturday, 12 to 3 p.m. Let me think. Is there anything else I want to say? It's going to be fun and interactive. There's going to be calls to action throughout it. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's going to be fun. It's not boring. If you guys know it, it's not boring. If every single person stayed on my last workshop for the free full hours, and I had to cut it off at the end, I was like, hey guys, time's up. They wanted more. So that's all I want to say. I hope that this helped you early detect, get your testing done, do your self-breast exams every single month, do prevention. Don't keep your cell phone in your boobie anymore. Opt for the opt out of the body scan at the airport. Reach out to me. If you do this workshop, please level up to VIP, because the VIP experience is so immersive and such a deeper dive, because otherwise you might just leave with questions. Where the VIP, you're going to get an extra 60-minute session to ask me your questions while they're fresh in your head. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it. And during the VIP session, I'm going to get into a deeper dive about these genes and genetic highways and how to better your odds of keeping the big C away and how to better your odds of staying healthier longer. And I can get into, turning on those genetic switches back. But that will only be more so during the VIP session. So that's all I want to say. I thank you guys for tuning in. Please share this with somebody you know that's suffering with symptoms who could benefit. I didn't even get into it, but the Reclaim Your Life, the reason I did this is so many people are reaching out to me all the time. How do you have so much energy? How come you're not in pain anymore? How'd you get back to your weight? And I don't have enough time. So this workshop is great for you if you have any symptoms, if you want to come off your meds, if you don't want medications, if you're a medical mystery and you've tried this, tried that, if you think, man, I'm just getting older. Is this what life is like? No. Don't you know over 90-year-old out dancing late at night, right? This is not just getting older. If your doctor says your tests are normal, I don't know what to do. Let me send you to the specialist. You want another diagnosis, another opinion, another test. You're doing the same test over and over and over to not find an answer. Modern medicine is never, ever, ever designed for a cure. Okay. After 30 years as a licensed healthcare pro, I have never seen a medicine cure anything. It's keeping you sick for recurrent income month after month, year after year. I don't do that. I get to the root cause, right? Say you have a roof leak, right? And I just put a bucket under the leak, right? That's what medicine is. It's masking tape on a garden hose. It's a band-aid. Masking tape is like putting the bucket under the roof leak. It is not preventing anything. It's not stopping the roof leak from getting bigger. Then you need a mop. Then you have electrical damage and mold. And that's what we're doing to our bodies when we take these medicines. I help you identify the root cause and fix the goddamn roof leak so you don't need the bucket, the mop, electrical, and mold and spending a fortune for more years. So I want to help you do that. And that's what the workshop's about. So if you're suffering from any symptoms, don't want meds, want to come off the meds, there is hope for you. Even if the doctors left you helpless and hopeless, I was left helpless and hopeless. I went from all of those symptoms to the way I am now. And I'm just going to explain a few of the symptoms because maybe this can help you say, like, yeah, this is me. I had hair thinning. I don't anymore. I had itchy eyes. No, I don't have any of these symptoms anymore. Itchy skin, weird rashes, shortness of breath, palpitations, insomnia, exhaustion, no matter how much I slept, how much coffee I had, how many naps I took. My pain was out of proportion between the exhaustion and the pain. I couldn't do the things that used to bring me great joy. I wanted to go swimming and hiking and biking and down to the beach. If this sounds like you or someone you know, and let's see, the doctors just kept giving me meds. Try this, try that, like I was a damn guinea pig. The meds didn't help me. They made me feel worse, which led to more meds. I was frustrated. I want you to know there's hope. You are not alone. If this sounds like you or someone you know, join our upcoming workshop. Share this link so they can register as well. And I hope to see you there, and definitely level up to the VIP for the immersive experience where you're going to get lots of answers to your questions, and it's really going to move your needle forward and do so at an expedited rate. Too many of us are looking for Google for the answers. Now, Google has lots of wrong information spit back out. If you don't go to Google to fix the engine in your car, why the hell are you going to Google for your one life where you can't get replacement parts? And it's usually misinformation. Guys, stop doing that. I take all the guesswork out. I've trialed and errored with my own autoimmune and thousands of patients for 30 plus years. There is no guinea pig anymore. I know what doesn't work. I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'm only going to ask you to do what I know works. So thank you for letting me ramble. Thank you for tuning in. Click that subscribe button. I hope to see you on the workshop, worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. And please level up to VIP so you can get answers the same day and really expedite your journey instead of, 10 years from now, still not figuring it out. Right? We hire the expert. I hired the expert. This is my real kitchen. This is not a backdrop. When it came to my kitchen, I hired the expert. Why? They've been through it thousands of times. They worked out all the mistakes with the last 1,000 people. They saved me years of aggravation, time, money. So just go to the expert who's been there, done that, could expedite your journey. All right, guys, that's all I gotta say. So be well, biohack, Olo, and I'll see you this Saturday on the live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop and hopefully in the VIP session following. worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Click that link. See you there.
Finding the strength deep inside.